Hi, my name is Jeff Gallimore. I'm the Chief Technology and Innovation Officer and a co-founder at Excella. Culture is a major contributor to an organization's performance. That perspective is supported by the quote from famed management guru Peter Drucker, who said, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." In a survey of CIOs by Gartner in 2018, 46% of CIOs said culture was their top barrier to transformation. If you're familiar with the DevOps movement, you might have heard the acronym CALMS, which describes the 5 key aspects of DevOps: culture, automation, lean, measurement, and sharing. There's that word again, culture. Now, given how important culture is, you'd think we'd be able to describe it, measure it, and even change it. And yet, that's not the experience of most organizations. When I ask people to describe the culture of their team or their organization, I usually get a deer in the headlights look, and then a flow of fuzzy, vague words. Even harder is to describe the connection between an organization's culture and that organization's performance. That is until the 2015 State of DevOps report, which identified a predictive relationship between certain cultural attributes and IT and organizational performance. Those cultural attributes were based on the work of sociologist Dr. Ron Westrum. Westrum developed a culture topology by studying how hospitals shared information and responded to mistakes, noting that certain hospitals were getting remarkably better patient safety outcomes. In Westrum's culture topology, the first culture type is pathological or power-oriented. It's characterized by low cooperation, messengers being shot, failure leading to scapegoating, and novelty being crushed. The second culture type is bureaucratic or rule-oriented. It's characterized by modest cooperation, failure leading to justice, and novelty leading to problems. The third type, which is demonstrated by the highest performing organizations, is generative or performance-oriented. It's characterized by high cooperation across team and organizational boundaries, failure leading to inquiry, and novelty being surfaced and implemented. Now, we know that the generative culture is the one that exists in high-performing organizations, but if an organization doesn't have that culture yet, what can they do to get it? Well, first, we can assess culture. There are diagnostic tools we can use to determine where in Westrum's culture topology an organization is operating. Second, we can educate people on culture and its impact on performance. Unlike 10 or 15 years ago, there's now plenty of research and content related to culture and how to change it for the good. Third, we can work on thinking differently by changing assumptions about workers and work. For example, people do not come to work to do a bad job. Everyone is doing the best they can given the information they have at the time. Now, how would operating with those two assumptions change someone's response to a failure or mistake? Fourth, we can act differently by modeling the behavior that we want to see. Leaders especially have a role to play here. Dr. Amy Edmondson, the author of the book Fearless Organizations, and the scientist behind Google's rework studies, suggests 3 specific ways leaders can change their behaviors. 1, framework as learning problems as opposed to just execution problems. What can we learn as opposed to just what can we do? Second, acknowledge your own fallibility. You're human, you make mistakes. And third, model curiosity by asking lots of questions. Don't just assume. If you really want to move the needle on IT and organizational performance, don't just focus on the process and technology. Work on the culture too, by shifting the organization towards more of the attributes and behaviors associated with a generative culture. Not only will your organization get better results, your people will be more engaged and have more joy in their work.